At the end of the day, we must tell ourselves the truth. And the truth is that Nigeria cannot afford to have foreign military intervention. It is very, very disastrous for everybody. But there are things that should have been done by now to really avoid this issue of Donald Trump threatening to send a military down to Nigeria. But President Muhammadu Buhari, the late president, failed to address this. And he was lucky that he has a supporter in Barack Obama, who was subtly part of the deal that brought him in. When Bola Tinubu came in, before he came in, there were fear due to having a Muslim ticket. And there were also fear that the vice president, the current vice president, Kashim Shettima, that he could not be trusted due to the role he played as governor of Borno State when schoolgirls were kidnapped in Chibok. He was said to have played a significant role that made that kidnap to be successful. And again, there were allegations that some of the terrorists were also found in his lodge in Abuja. Those were damning allegations, and which were also not clear before he was picked as running mate to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So there are so many things begging for answers. So they were actually fear before he came in. So, but what happened when Bola Tinubu came in as president? What are the roles he played? There were so many concerns. Attacks also increased in the northern part of Nigeria, also spreading to the southern part, and also west, which him himself is from. But what did the president do? So much has been said to be left untouched, and we must tell ourselves the truth. And the truth is that the Nigerian government has largely failed to contain the onslaught of Boko Haram and other terrorists that spring up almost every 3 months. Again, we must also blame the religious leaders. There are so many religious leaders in Nigeria that believe that it's either you are a Muslim or you don't deserve to live. What happened to those religious leaders? They were never picked up. They were never arrested. And they never apologized. So, how do you manage a country like that? So, it's volatile already. The country is tensed already. So, why will you leave that untouched and unchecked? Clearly shows that could mean that the president is also culpable or do not really care about what is happening. There are so many people on social media, especially on X, who spread this religious fear that is either you are a Muslim or you don't deserve to live. And there are fear about the Sharia law. Sharia should be for Muslims alone, but many Christians in the north are being prosecuted using the Sharia law. So, how do you justify a country being ruled on two different laws? The kind of law that will prosecute people in the south is a secular law, that really governs which the country operates on. But in the north, Sharia law is in place. So how do you justify that? Again, Boko Haram and other terrorist groups are armed with dangerous weapons. How do they get this weapon? Nothing comes to the country without the support of someone somehow. So the Nigerian barracks are being overrun by terrorists almost every month. Soldiers are being killed. The Nigerian media has really reported overwhelmingly on assault on churches and Christians. Has the president ever looked into it? The one that happened in Benue the other time, 200 persons killed the same day. But what happened? The president was still received in a large, elaborate event. He spoke, but he didn't speak until the Pope spoke in Rome, thousands of hours of miles away, before the president could even speak. Can you imagine? Until the Pope condemned, before Pope Leo, before the president could really react and spend over 5 days before he also went to Benue. But he never visited the scene of incident. So how do you really justify that as a nation? So if they accuse you of stealing and you decide to steal, are you still, in what way are you going to justify yourself that you're not a thief? Life is sacred. But the truth is that Nigeria do not place premium on life. Life being wasted means nothing, absolutely nothing to the Nigerian government. It is really sad that we continue like this as a country. So it is now left for the president to act or risk the country, Nigeria, go down the drain. We still have time to act. It is time for the wasteful, so-called peaceful meeting being held with terrorists across the nation to stop. You don't pamper terrorists, but Nigeria is pampering terrorists. It's enough. It must stop. If you want our country, it has to stop. The government cannot deny the whereabouts of these terrorists. They are holding meeting with them on what? You have the firepower, you have the superior power. Then why are you holding meeting with them? Why? Nigeria has the firepower, the military power. Then why are we holding meetings upon meetings with terrorists? Zamfara State Governor Daud Alawa said he has the knowledge of the whereabouts of terrorists. But unfortunately, the Nigerian government, Bola Ahmed Tinubu government, has refused to act. Whereas the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale, was the immediate past governor of Zamfara State. So what is he doing? You have largely refused to crush terrorists. What is happening? Are we serious as a nation? Until foreign power intervene before we start neutralizing terrorists? Things must be done. Things have to be done. We need to change. We need to change.